got an idea for making my junk journal cover and I've created this very sort of steampunky fish eye, but I don't think it's dark enough. So what I'd like to do is I just want to paint it a little bit brighter. So I've just got some liquid acrylic paint, and I'm just going to very quickly go along the edge of this and see how it comes out, right? Because for me, this is about the eye. Put the lid on that, and I've got some black, and I do have some white. I've got some white there. Let's do some white first, and then I can go on to the black, right? In fact, I'll do the white last. Silly of me to think otherwise. Right. A bit of black. And again, I'm just going to go along the edge of the eye. As an artist, it's quite nice to actually, when you create, because this is sort of a collagey thing now, is use some paint, use watercolors, and actually paint areas that you want to accentuate. And as I said, for me, it is really the eye. Like that. And then a little bit in the middle there. Like that. Okay. And then I've got, okay, let's just see. I want to grab a dollop. Now, you know, fish, I want to put a glint. This fish obviously doesn't have a glint, but I want a glint. And I just want to have the light catching it. Usually, adding white will brighten it up a bit. I just put a tiny little glint there. Okay, I think that'll do the job. Right, what I want to do, if I move that over so that you're in shot, is to take, how do I want that? So I want to be able to see my eye. That's kind of what I'm wanting. I've got to start somewhere, and this is going to be my somewhere. Right, just cut that like that. So I've just cut a shape that's going to look like a tear, and I will show you what I did, or I'm going to do. Right, so it's going to lay over there like that, and then I'm going to tear around the edges like that. Still just keeping it over there like that. So stamping the two pictures together. Now, you know, there are downsides to not having fingernails, and I don't have fingernails, so let's hear that a bit more and open that up. And I've printed this on both sides, okay, because I don't want to see the white on there necessarily. And now I'm going to put some eyelets on here, and they are just going to be placed very randomly. Oh, that looks really good. I think I need to turn it that way. I like that. I really like that. Okay. And I'm going to grab my glue. I'm back, I've got some glue. And I'm just going to glue some, I'm going to glue some of these edges down because I don't want them lifting up again. Right. Just a smidging of glue, not like I've just done there. Right. Just holds it all in place. So very strange. It's weird, it's a bit creepy, but it's okay. It's fun. That's what we want it to be, fun. Right, so I might have to move that around a bit. That's okay. Right, I've got too much glue on there. Right. Now I've got some twine, and I'm going to have to work out how I want this to go. So I'm going to start off with two there, right? I'm going to have one that goes there, one that goes there, one that goes there. So let's just put a mark there and a mark there, because whilst I want it to be random, I do want it to be organized, right? So this one, I want it to come there over the eye. I don't want it to, because the eye is the feature. Put an eyelet there, right? So that's there, that's there. That's there. And then have an eyelet there for that one. And then an eyelet there for that one. So I kind of think I've got it, right? And have an eyelet there and an eyelet there. So we've got one, two. Let's just make some holes and see how it goes. So I've got my crocodile, and I'm just going to chomp some holes. When you're doing this, don't worry too much about, you know, being overly precise. You don't need to be overly precise about this. Go on. Some glue down, but not enough. it's determined, it's not going to stay stuck. Right, so let's just go down one side and then come back the other side. And then one down there. You just got to have an even number. You don't need to have them, as you can see, mine are not placed evenly at all. Okay, because I want it to catch the eye. And let's just see how that goes. The fun part, of course, is always using eyelets. And I don't know if I'm the only one that has bad luck with eyelets, but they either work or they don't. So I need the eyelets, and I need that. Found the eyelets. I've got some scorched timber that I'm just going to go. I'm using the dark one because I really want to highlight the edge. Okay. Now you don't have to print it double-sided, you know, this double-sided when you know, if you decide to make something similar of your own. But it just takes away the whiteness of the paper, that, you know, especially if you're using white paper, it just takes the whiteness away. Right, and that's giving it a little bit of something. Right, like that. I think that's going to look really good. Okay, and so now I've got a whole bunch of violets. So they're in varying sizes, but I think I'm going to need something that's going to be able to take that twine. So there's a plethora of colours here. I think I'll use those brass ones, or whatever you call them. This coloured one here. I'm only using those, not because I'm, you know, like the colour so much, but they're the largest ones that I have of those. So I'm going to go now, and I'm going to punch these. So as soon as they're punched, I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've done that now, and I'm going to just thread that through. So I want it to appear like this. Okay. Try and have them where they're even. Don't try and pull too much on it. I'm just working from the back. Right. Enough, but not too much. And actually, if you've got some masking tape, just to hold the design in place, that's even better. And I have little bits of washi tape. They're not going to be for anything that I need them for. So I'm going to just tape it down to hold it in place. Okay. Like that. And then come back again that way. And that way. Right. through there again. So it's going to come out on the front, which is where we want it. Well, I want mine to come out on the front so that I can add bits to it if I want to. I can. I'm going to just put a bit of, not that I need to, I'm just going to put a bit there. Like that. It's low tack, so I've also got some laminate sheets. Put that over my fish. Okay. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to accentuate my fish a bit more. Now bear with me for a second. Let's just see. Okay, that's fine. Like that. I told you the whole focal point of this design is the eye. Sometimes just putting an outline around things really does accentuate it more. Right, so this is not going to be seen. If you look at that, it's not going to be seen. So I can quite happily come all the way down and I can get that. Lay my design or my acetate over my design. Right. So just think it's going to look like that. Okay. So that's how it's going to look. And what I need to do is take some glue, and I'm using this fabric glue, and I'm going to go along the edges as best I can. There is going to be some puckering. Unfortunately, there isn't anything I can do about that, but that's to grab a book, and I've got a book, a heavy book. Just dump a heavy book on it for a couple of hours. I've cut some strips of paper which I'm going to use in some way with my eye, but I also cut a circle. Now I'll put a link in the description below where you can find the paper that I've used. I've just taken one element of it and I've glued it onto a bit of card, the same card that I used to make my cover with. And my idea is to use some, again, of the black soot. And I'm going to ink up the edges. I didn't cut it very round, but it doesn't matter. It's all part of it. Like that. or should I say where you can still see the card colour, and I'm going to colour that in. The idea, I've got this idea in my mind about creating a spinning wheel. That's the idea I've got for that, and I think that's probably what I'm going to go with. And I need some of these. Right, let me get myself organised. And I've just tried to work out roughly where the middle of the card is, and I hope that my calculation as to where I think the centre is right. Anyway, there you go. I've done it. I've committed myself to it. And I'm going to pop that through there like that. But as I say, I do want it to spin. Now, it's where I want it there. See, so that needs to be sort of equidistant, roughly. And then I'm going to just poke a hole. Like that. And I don't know, I have a desk that I'm quite capable of losing most things. Right, I'm going to push that through there, push it through there, and pop that down. Right. So I'm not going to put that straight down, so I still want it to turn. I need to play around with it there. Oh yeah, it turns quite nicely. Right, so a bit of tape covering that. This is going to still be covered up with something on the inside. Right, so that's that side there. Side. And then on the back, I'm going to have my eye. I think I'm just going to put it like that. I'm going to put it down like that, I think. And let it dry. And then decide what am I doing with that. I might just end up making a bow or something. I'm not sure yet. Grab some glue. Right, so let's just put that out there for the moment. Just glue this down. Now I'm not going to do the edges in vintage photo or scorched timber because I kind of want it to blend in with this board on the back. I'm just using my finger and I'm gently, but with a bit of force, applying pressure to the page. Now, you know, I cut all these strips, and these strips I'm going to use. They're varying lengths and, I mean, sorry, they're varying widths and colours, and actually for me that doesn't really matter. And that is going to actually kind of act as a bit of a frame So if they're different sizes, they're doing different things, it really doesn't matter. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. Let's do that. Put that there like that. And then let's just estimate that's going to be. Then I can just quickly glue that down. And again, I'm not doing anything with this. I want it to be there, but I'm not trying to announce it. And I'll just do my first strip of glue on there. You can decide how much or how little you want to cover your page with, right? And I think that's some Edison lights, which is quite nice. And again, just cutting it. And if I cut it straight, that would help. And get that on there like that. So I cover up the edges. Still don't think that's right there. I'm not happy with that. Put a bit of glue there. Right. Just put that down. And then I've got some other strips, and it's a case of which ones do I want to go with. So I think I'm going to use a thin one at the top. I think that'll do. And do the same for the bottom. Now this is just, you know, I'm just demonstrating to you how to actually cover a junk journal cover, obviously. There are lots of gorgeous papers out there, and you just have to find the paper that you like. The seller that I bought these from does a whole load of insert papers, but I'm just going to show you how you can create a no-sew cover, so that you can easily slip signatures in and out and other ephemera that you collect along your journey. I'm going to use a fat one because I've got some space there. So I think it'll be a fatty. Right, just like that. And then just give it a good cut. There still, don't know. The other thing I want to do is I want to find out where half my page is. So as I say, I know it's 6 centimeters. So my first eyelet is going to be there in the middle. So I'm doing 3 eyelets, 3 signatures. Going to be there. Right. And then I usually have between the first eyelet and the second eyelet, I have 1.5 centimeters. I'm going to be using these eyelets here. So it's going to be an eyelet and then a centimeter and an eyelet, and then a centimeter and an eyelet. 1, 2, 3. I'm going, because I'm using these, I have to punch them differently, so no crocodile involved. Oh, there it is. Oh, right. So this is my punch tool. You have to eyeball this and also use a bit of card. I'll just put some card in here. Right. Put some card under your surface so you're protecting it. And then you're going to get your eye in the middle, right? As I say, it's all very and just punch the holes in. Like that. And I suspect that my punching hole has got blocked. Okay. Just need to clear those up. Right, so they are roughly all lined up. They may still be crooked. So this will go at the bottom after you've put your eyelets in. So let's get the eyelets in. Let's get those in. So just push them through. Right. And then get your tool on there and then just go through each one. And then this is the actual punch that actually closes the hole. Right. And you actually don't need to punch. You don't need to hit it. One, firm hit is good enough. Right. So those are those three done. And then I'll just flip it over and do the others. I have created a holy mess here, so I'm just going to tidy this up. So I'm going to show you how you thread the journal using some elastic. So I'm just using some of this very thin cord elastic. I'd recommend using this over string or twine or anything like that because it does have a bit of flexibility in that. So what I do is I'm going to start in the middle and it doesn't matter whether you start at the top or the bottom, and just thread the elastic through both sides, through the top and the bottom, middle, and then it's up to you. Now it needs to, the elastic needs to be threaded back in through either the left side or the right side. That's up to you how you want to do it. So through that side, so you create a nice little bridge between the two eyelets. Right, and that's going to come down there to the bottom hole on the same side that you've just threaded. And then I'm going to feed this through back in through the middle loop. And I'm just going to hold one side while I adjust the elastics because I'm going to do the same that side. I'm going to feed it through there. Right. Up to the top. And I'm going to feed it back through the middle again. So actually I'm completing the bridge between the two. Let me just show you what I mean. So I've got a nice bridge there and I've got a nice bridge there. And then all I'm going to do is just tie it up. Cut the elastic a bit big, then you can always just cut it a bit smaller. You want it to have some sort of, you want it to have a bit of, oh, there you go, now I've undone my knot that I've just created. You want it to have some, you see, just a bit of give in there. Okay, so I'm done recording. I had to glue this down because it was starting to pucker at the side. So my idea of having a spinning wheel didn't work. So I'll just show you how the cover came out in the end. see our bridging for our elastic. That's come out really nice. I glued the little bow there. I made a little bow in the end. Right, so I'll turn that back over. And then I have my envelope. I've used one of these little gauges just to hold the envelope flat closed. And as you can see there, when I can use my fingernails, I've got some bits. And then it just closes as normal. And just for the purpose of demonstrating, I put some journal signatures in here, just for you to have a look at. Obviously they need to be decorated, but as it stands, you know, if you look at it, there's lots of place down here for you to be able to add tabs. There's plenty of space to add slightly longer documents, and I think it's really come out gorgeous. If you've enjoyed watching me create this journal cover and you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. If you can like and share it, that would be even more amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.